Cortosis. Have you ever heard of a metal so powerful it can shut down a lightsaber? This rare treasure has a mysterious history, shifting between the Star Wars canon and Legends continuity. Prized for its incredible ability to absorb and transfer energy, it even puts the famous Mandalorian Beskar to shame. But here's the twist. In some tales, it's a game changer, while in others, it's a legend. Either way, if you're up against the Jedi, Cortosis is your best bet to survive the clash. With the Acolyte showing us Cortosis for the first time in live action, we're going to give you all the information you need to know about the rare, unique metal throughout its iterations in the Star Wars galaxy. You'll come to find it's been more apparent in the galaxy than you thought. But before we continue, remember to like the video and subscribe to make sure you don't miss a thing from a galaxy far, far away. Now, depending on if we look at the new Star Wars canon or discontinued Legends continuity, Cortosis has had different entry points in the Star Wars timeline. Cortosis first appeared in the Star Wars universe in Michael A. Stackpole's 1998 novel, I, Jedi. This book is part of the Legends continuity. And just for those who don't know, the Legends continuity is a collection of stories outside the official Star Wars canon. These novels, games, and comics were decanonized by Lucasfilm when they were acquired by Disney. You may also hear this referred to as the expanded universe. Okay, back to Cortosis. In I, Jedi, Cortosis is introduced as a rare and powerful metal with a unique ability to deactivate lightsabers upon contact and block energy attacks such as blaster bolts. This characteristic made it an incredibly valuable and dangerous material in the Star Wars galaxy, particularly for those seeking to counter Jedi warriors. The introduction of Cortosis in this novel set the foundation for its recurring role in future Star Wars stories, where it became a key element in various battles and conflicts. Over time, Cortosis was consistently depicted as a formidable defense against lightsabers, cementing its status as one of the most sought-after materials for those needing an edge against Force wielders. Mining Cortosis is an incredibly challenging and hazardous endeavor. The metal is extremely rare, with natural deposits found only on planets Mokivjit and Denzo. In the new canon, in Legends, it's been noted to be seen on a few other key planets, such as Apatros, Abradan, Baldemnik, Duro, Nirayan, and Katano 7. Extracting Cortosis from the ground requires specialized equipment and techniques due to its fibrous and highly conductive nature. In the Legends continuity, unrefined Cortosis was described as being heavily electrically charged, posing a lethal risk to anyone who came into contact with it. This made the mining process not only difficult but also dangerous, as the metal had to be carefully handled and refined before it could be used in armor or weapons. During the Old Republic era, Cortosis is said to be incredibly dense and difficult to mine, while in later eras it's described as brittle and being a highly malleable metal. Additionally, Cortosis is not particularly durable when it comes to physical force. Its fibrous structure, while excellent for energy dispersion, makes it brittle and prone to breaking under heavy impact. A special jackhammer would be utilized to mine the metal. As a result, Cortosis is often combined with other, more resilient materials to create alloys, meshes, or weaves that can withstand the rigors of combat. This further complicates the mining and refinement process, as the Cortosis must be carefully integrated with these materials to maximize its effectiveness. Cortosis's rarity and the complexities involved in its extraction and refinement contribute to its high cost. The metal's scarcity makes it a precious commodity, sought after by those who need to defend against lightsabers or other energy-based weapons. However, the difficulty of obtaining and working with Cortosis means that it's often prohibitively expensive for all but the wealthiest individuals or organizations. Despite its high value, Cortosis's practical limitations also contribute to its limited use. While it's highly effective against lightsabers, Cortosis is less practical for general-purpose armor due to its brittleness and the challenges of integrating it with more durable materials. During the Old Republic era, Cortosis played a crucial role in the battle between the Ascendant and the Sith Order. The Ascendant, a group striving to harness the power of the dark side without wielding the Force, created the Null Blade, using a Cortosis alloy. This blade could temporarily short out lightsabers, giving its wielder a brief advantage in combat. However, the blade's lack of reinforcement made it vulnerable to the brute force of lightsaber strikes, leading to its destruction. The Ascendant's attempt to complete the Null Blade was cut short when they were ultimately defeated by the Sith, leaving Cortosis as a symbol of their unfinished battle. If you were a fan of the video games Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords, they treated the effects of Cortosis weapons as merely energy resistant and only capable of blocking lightsaber attacks. However, I think this was more of a gameplay mechanic and not a true portrayal of its lightsaber defense properties. During the rise of Darth Bane and the end of the new Sith Wars, the Outer Rim Ore Works Company mined Cortosis on Apatros as well. Funny enough, Bane's story originates as a Cortosis miner on Apatros. In the High Republic era, Cortosis was utilized by a mysterious Sith known as the Stranger, or Kemir. This individual wore a helmet and gauntlet made from Cortosis, allowing him to conceal his identity and enhance his combat capabilities. The Cortosis in his armor proved a significant advantage during a lightsaber duel on the planet Kofar. When the Stranger's armor made contact with a Jedi's lightsaber, the blade's energy was neutralized, causing the weapon to short out. The helmet also protected against telepathy from Force users, since Cortosis could also affect a Force sensitive's ability to use the Force. The helmet made from the materials isolate the wearer's thoughts and prevent others from sensing them. This allowed Kemir to prevent Master Soul from reading his thoughts and prevent the Jedi from sensing him while he donned the mask. This tactical use of Cortosis gave the Stranger an edge in battle, though his armor was not invulnerable. Despite its ability to disrupt lightsabers, the Cortosis armor was susceptible to direct physical attacks, as demonstrated when Padawan Jaqi Lon and Yord Fendar managed to damage the Stranger's gear. This was the first time we saw Cortosis in live action, and honestly I thought it was a cool addition to live action Star Wars, and one of the very few highlights from the Acolyte. The Clone Wars saw Cortosis being integrated into various strategic applications as well. The Grisks, an enigmatic species, shared their knowledge of Cortosis with Count Dooku, highlighting its potential for energy management. By weaving Cortosis fibers with a protective matrix, they created armor that was not only durable, but also resistant to blaster fire. This armor could redirect the energy of a lightsaber back into itself, causing the weapon to shut down upon contact temporarily. Under the guidance of Darth Sidious, Duke Solha oversaw the production of Cortosis-enhanced armor for B2 series super battle droids and clone troopers. However, this scheme was thwarted by Padme Amidala, Anakin Skywalker, and the Chiss strategist Thrawn. Yes, the future Grand Admiral Thrawn, who sabotaged the production and ultimately destroyed the Cortosis mines on Mokivje to prevent the Confederacy of Independent Systems, CIS, from utilizing this powerful resource. In Legends, Anzadi assassin Sajay Taja wore a pair of clawed Cortosis gauntlets during the Clone Wars, and Jedi Master Quinlan Vos wore a Cortosis gauntlet on his left arm. The use of Cortosis was even looming under our noses during this famous era of Star Wars. In the Imperial era, Cortosis continued to find its way into various technologies and strategies. One notable example is Count Demetrius Vidian, a cyborg business analyst who had a Cortosis mesh skin graft installed on his body during the Clone Wars. This graft allowed Vidian to conduct energy from blaster bolts into others he was in contact with, demonstrating Cortosis' unique ability to transfer energy in combat situations. Years later, when Vidian was confronted by the Jedi in hiding Kanan Jarrus and the Twi'lek pilot Hera Syndulla, he used this Cortosis graft to gain an advantage, redirecting a blaster bolt into Jarrus, who Vidian was holding at the time. Vader came up against Cortosis in the canon comic Hidden Empire 5, where his lightsaber was disrupted, but that didn't stop him from winning this battle. In Legends, the walls of the Imperial Palace were also lined with Cortosis ore. I think this is interesting to add because it shows how utilized this metal was by those who had the power, wealth, or skill to do so. Darth Sidious was no fool when it came to using his resources wisely. Several notable characters across different eras of galactic history have used Cortosis. The Stranger, also known as Kemir, is one such individual. The show really did give us a great representation of how Cortosis can operate in live action. Kemir wielded Cortosis armor, including a helmet and gauntlet, to block lightsaber strikes and protect his mind from psychic intrusions. This marked a significant evolution in the use of Cortosis, as Kemir employed the metal not just for defense but as an integral part of his offensive strategy, using physical attacks like punches and headbutts to deactivate his enemies' lightsabers. The Ascendant, a dark side cult, also utilized Cortosis in their quest to challenge the Sith. Their leader, Miriel, forged the Null Blade, a Cortosis sword designed to deactivate lightsabers. Although the weapon was ultimately unsuccessful, it represented a unique approach to Cortosis-based technology. During the Clone Wars, the Separatists, led by Darth Sidious and Count Dooku, planned to create Cortosis battle droids and clone trooper armor as part of their strategy for Order 66. However, this plan was foiled by Padme, Anakin, and Thrawn, who destroyed the Cortosis production facilities before the droids could be constructed. Mandalorians, known for their frequent conflicts with Jedi, have also incorporated Cortosis Cortosis into their armor. This integration allowed them to withstand lightsaber strikes, further enhancing their reputation as formidable warriors. Finally, Count Demetrius Vidian's use of Cortosis in his skin graft is another example of how this rare metal has been adopted for personal defense and combat. Cortosis has had a profound impact on the tactics and strategies used in galactic warfare, particularly in battles involving Jedi and Sith. However, Cortosis' rarity and the difficulties associated with its use have prevented it from becoming a widespread solution. Instead, it remains a specialized resource used only by those who can afford it and the means to acquire it. This has limited its overall impact on galactic warfare, but it's nonetheless played a significant role in key battles and conflicts, particularly those involving Jedi and Sith. Well, that's all from your favorite galaxy far, far away. This episode was all about Cortosis, and I hope you found it interesting. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure to like and share the video. For more interesting videos, click the subscribe button on our channel for all things Star Wars.